This playthrough is rated M for mature.
Greetings and salutations, viewers. Vauldemare back here with another episode of Will, A Wonderful World. In the last episode, we helped Lee win with her situation with Mr. Win, and then we helped her survive a sexual assault. And then Jimmy, we found out how sad he is because he couldn't get the girl, even though he's being a total... Sorry, he's basically getting cucked by an older man. I'm sorry, it's true. It's true, folks. Can't stop it. No, sorry. Anyway, I was messing around with the cop stuff again. I found out something interesting, so it'll be funny when you figure it out, but I got a little bit more progress into that, so let's see what happens next with the detectives. M134 abruptly stopped firing. Then I heard the sound of the metal hitting the ground. I peeked down to see Cho Yan-Han had dropped the machine gun, and he was covered his abdomen with his right hand. Fuck, there are other people here, you morons! Find them! Find them! Shoot them! Soon I heard the sound of people fighting. Yet Cho Yo-Han held on the machine gun again, pointed right in my direction, kept staring in our direction like a hawk. He was not going to let us get out of here alive today. About 20 minutes later, some men from the gangman group were holding down a pretty buff young man, pressing his head into the ground. Pretty buff young man. It's kind of interesting they go into that much detail, dude. I wonder. Anyway, sorry. His head was already covered in blood. Cho Yo-Han grabbed his hair. Okay, I think we heard this before. New guy. I think we've heard this one before. Where's my son? Fuck you, kids. 10, don't mind me. Well, yeah, he said kill the kid. I mean, I still don't think I completely finished this one. I feel like I'm still missing something. But I just got a different variation on the ending because of where I placed something. Mission in a goddamn place, you idiot. Didn't you bring a fucking gun? What was the point of justice? Okay. Let's see, that's the same. I looked down at the green B2 form in my hand. I had an idea. Okay, this is the one we're about. Yeah, we need something that tells us to get a signature, but I don't know. Yeah. Guy says, yeah, he can't forge a signature. There was a toy gun on the ground. I picked up the toy gun. Could this be useful? Whatever. It'd be better than nothing. I rushed out of the building and hailed a cab. With only a toy gun on me, I headed towards the port. Okay. That's his rank A, yet it gets a batting for the other dude. So we finally got this guy's rank A, at least. So, oh, maybe I just need a... Oh, and I'll show you what I had to do this time. You could move this past this point. I didn't know you could do that. That surprised me. I was like messing around with it. I was like, am I missing something? And then I pushed down one more and it moved it here. And I didn't think you could do that. I guess I didn't notice that there was a separation between these two. So when I looked at them, so I didn't think anything of it. So, oh well. Just thought I'd point that out. So anyway, if we swap these two, maybe that'll give us what we need. Yeah, I'm glad I finally finished this. I'm glad the game let me continue on without having to get S ranks in this. Otherwise, you know. Anyway, I felt the blood rush to my head. I picked up the gun. Then I turned back to the armory and slammed it on the desk. Thud! I dropped it to the ground. I dropped to the ground on my knees. Sir, I have to tell you something. Becoming a police officer has always been my dream ever since I was a kid. I've always thought that one day when I finally became a police officer, I'd be able to defend justice and help people who were in need. Even though Lieutenant Kang has a lousy temper, loves smoking, is often mean to me, always has me doing paperwork, and is there any redeeming qualities at this point? Likes junk food, but as a police officer, a defender of justice, I just can't let him be in danger without doing anything. And sir, if you don't loan me a gun now, it'll all be too late. The custodian turned his face back again, looking at the top half of my head behind the desk. While tears were welling up in my eyes, it was nothing compared to the river coming down his face. Silence. I stood back up and dusted off my pants. Well, I tried. Wait. The custodian wiped his face clean and put on his jacket. I can't break the rules and loan you a gun. However, I'll come with you. Oh, by the way, bring this along too. The custodian stuffed a toy gun in my hand. Toy gun? Are you kidding me right now? However, the old man seemed dead serious, so I tucked the gun into my waistband. Still, as a rookie cop, all I had right now was a toy gun and the custodian of the checkout counter of the armory. I was beginning to feel uncertain about this rescue mission. And I heard the sound. Okay, heard the lots of people yelling inside. It was on the ground. Okay, I peeked out and saw that Cho Yon Han was lying on the ground unconscious. His lackeys were completely frantic and running around hysterically. I didn't know what happened, or what exactly happened. It was my only opportunity. I charged in the crowd and took a gun from one of the mobsters. However, even with a weapon, I was still outnumbered. Just when I was about to be swamped, I saw a shadow run behind those bastards. At first, I thought it was just my imagination, but then the bastards suddenly began falling to the ground one after another, and a familiar yet annoying figure jumped onto a huge cargo container. With his left hand beside his waist and his right hand waving some kind of strange white cloth, he shouted to the entire warehouse, "Listen up, you evil bastards! Today is the day we're going to see justice being served by me. I'm going to arrest every single one of you and bring you all to the police station." I was 100% sure now. The only person to say something like that without any irony was him. Who knew the kid had some talent, despite always seeming a little off. Thanks to him, half an hour later, only people still standing were all from our side. I tossed another empty gun to the ground. One of those bastards lying near my feet. I saw half a pack of cheap cigarettes. I wasn't feeling picky at the moment, so I lit one up for myself. Seems to help with the exhaustion a little bit. What a night. To have a curse. I would need a beer when I got back, before I went to sleep. I sat down at the bottom of a random body nearby. Felt like I never wanted to get back up again. Then I looked at Chang Gyeong-Min. He had been jumping up and down for half an hour doing his weird karate, but he didn't seem tired at all. Young people. You're operating without authorization, you know that, right? Yes, sir. This is me defending my justice. Yes, sir, my ass. Look at that grin of yours. And what was the deal with your voice? It was so loud that it would hurt my skull. Well, whatever. Oh, there you go. Finally did it. So all it did was just me moving that one down one. Life is weird. Anyway, now let's see what our mailbox has. Looks like we got quite a few uppers. Ooh, we got a new participant. Bachelor pad, keep out. Okay. Troubles in the middle of summer. Okay. Message unwanted. Park has a thing. And shaking hands. Oh, great. I want to play as a little kid again. Well, since that's the next one in the timeline, we might as well do that one. So, and we got quite a bit ahead with Lee Win and everything like that. So, okay. Anyway. Unwanted. My dad had a bad temper. He often hit my mother and me. One day I knocked him out with a bottle to help mom. I thought he'd beat me up once he woke up, but I never expected that people from a mental hospital would show up at our door. These strangers were here to take me away. Oh, is that what happened during the cat storyline or whatever? Is that the white people in the thing were the mental hospital there to take him back home or whatever? Huh. Mom was not at home. I could still hear the last words Dad ever said to me. Bastard. I was not ill. I was taken to the hospital because I was a bad child. However, everyone here would insist they were not ill. Besides, the male nurses here were all as strong as bears. They could lift me off the ground with a single hand. There was no way I would escape from here. I was put in a very small room alone. There was a desk, a chair, and a simple bed. The bed sheets and blankets looked yellow and they were coated with stains. The walls were very dirty too, and someone had written a lot of bad words in the corner. I would try to talk with the female nurses, just to get through the day. Soon I realized that as long as I kept saying nice things about them, they would tell me anything I wanted to know. Wow, this kid's smarter than he looks. I had learned from them that the hospital was not too far away from my home. They said that the president of the hospital was a relative of someone important in the government. Those who the hospitals received a lot of government funding, but the president had pocketed most of it for himself. What a bastard. They also said that the president was rarely here. The person who was really in charge was the vice president, Dr. Lee Yoon-suk. Siok? Whatever. Dr. Lee was an expert in his field, and he always looked after the employees. If it weren't for him, the hospital would have closed down a long time ago. It was Tuesday. A good Tuesday. I had been here for 2 days, but I hadn't seen one doctor yet. If I could have Dr. Lee examine me, maybe know that I wasn't really ill and let me go home. After dinner time, I was waiting for a tray to be put through the door when it opened. A tall, slim male nurse stood at the door, said he would take me to the doctor. I had never seen him before. He probably worked in another building. I followed him downstairs, across the garden, to another building. We walked up to the 5th floor and stopped at the door of the office. The name tag on the door said Lee Yoon-suk. I sat nervously on the medical stool. It was very dark inside, and no lights were turned on. I could smell a faint scent in the room. It was only the 2 of us in the room. He asked a few simple questions first. To prove I was a good child, I answered all of his questions honestly. I also told him that Dad would beat Mom and me, and why I thought I'd been brought here. It was because Dad thought I was a bastard, a bedchild. You are here because you have a condition called selective cognitive impairment. Dr. Lee took off his white coat and laid it on the back of the chair. Selective cognitive impairment? I never heard of it. I could barely say it. In other words, you have a tendency of fantasizing about events. For instance, you said your father choked your mother with a rope, but that never happened. Interesting. That's not true. Dad must have lied to you. He'd beat me up. He even pounded boiled water on me. I can show you. I took off my shirt and turned my back towards him. I showed him the burn scars that went from my neck all the way down to my back. That was what Dad had given me when he doused me with boiling water. Dr. Lee raised his hand and touched the scars with his fingertips. His hand was so cold that I took a deep breath. You are mistaken. It wasn't your father who did this to you. Your symptoms are quite severe. If we don't do something about it, you'll most likely turn into schizophrenia. Ooh. Didn't actually expect that term to pop up. A severe mental disorder. Common symptoms include hearing and or seeing things that others do not perceive, memory confusion that leads to anxiety, paranoia, violent mood swings, and more. This can eventually lead one to cause bodily harm to themselves and others. Patients with this disorder also have a higher suicide rate, 5% more than normal. At the moment, the condition can be controlled by medication, but there's no known cure. Neither electroconvulsive therapy nor lobotomy are known to be effective. Lobotomy is when they take out a piece of the front of your lobe, brain lobe or whatever. Electroconvulsive therapy is when they strike electrodes to your temples and zap you. Ugh. Although I've heard that back in the day it used to be barbaric. I've heard they've had less I've heard it's used now again, but I've heard it's a lot more it's not as barbaric as it used to be. Let's just say that. Schizophrenia could be developed from other mental disorders such as selective cognitive impairment, an excellent hereditary condition which, if not controlled, could lead to schizophrenia. He turned around and saw Dr. Lee remove his belt. That would be an even worse condition. People with the condition have to be tied down to their beds. They can't go outside, not even to the bathroom. Every day they need to go through electroconvulsion therapy. More serious cases, we have even performed brain surgery on them. Perhaps I was too frightened. I felt my entire body get warm and my knees were becoming weak. Dr. Lee told me not to move. Don't be afraid, kid. As long as you can do everything I tell you, one day you'll fully recover. I didn't want to stay, but for some reason I was frozen by fear and didn't know what to do. I mean, how old is this kid? He's probably 9 or 8 or something like that. He was preparing his belt with a large buckle taking on a new meaning. I was so scared. Please, doctor, let me go. I could only beg him to let me go. He just left. Let you go? That's not gonna happen. What, doctor laughing like that? That's not good. You're here because of a lot of money. Money? Suddenly, an excruciating sharp pain washed over my entire body, and my brain stopped thinking. His heavy leather whip cracked against my back, again and again. So, is his dad, tied into this government place or whatever? That's why he's here? I couldn't hear anything he said afterwards. All I could hear was some deafening buzzing noise in my ears. Man, why is this kid just getting punished so badly? Her and Alicia just what the fuck, man? A full-length mirror was hung on the wall on the right side of the room. I could see my pale upper body lit by moonlight in the reflection. I raised my hand, hoping that the smaller body in the reflection would turn out not to be me. But the person in the mirror, whose face was crying and twisted in pain and despair, slowly raised his hand too, just as I did. No. The excruciating pain shooting through my back fought my fear as I started to resist. I pushed the files on the desk away, and then I felt something. A gun! Dr. Lee didn't notice what I was doing. I put my index finger on the trigger and raised the gun, shaking uncontrollably. I turned to my right. I pulled the trigger. The mirror suddenly shattered in pieces and scattered all over the floor. Dr. Lee was extremely shocked. He twisted the gun under my hand and threw it into the medical stool. The tall, slim nurse opened the door and peeked inside. But the moment he saw Dr. Lee shaking his head, he snapped it back out again and closed the door. It was still just the two of us. Nothing had changed. Even though I'd smashed the mirror and its reflective horrors to smithereens, nothing had changed. I saw numerous blue eyes in the broken piece of the mirror. All those eyes belonged to me. It was in the mirror. So who was the person that was outside the mirror? I couldn't seem to recognize him. This yellow-haired and perilous child. Who was he? Arjun was saying his gun. Ugh. and he is not going through a nice place. Yeah, I believe his father probably has some ties to this group. That's why he's here. And then we hear the rental review song. Ooh, ooh, oh yeah, talking about those movies, something. I can't remember the whole song, but anyway, okay. I had finally seen a true marksman today. The custodian who loved soap operas so much that he could bawl his eyes out had averted Lieutenant Kang's crisis with just a toy gun. And it was from such a disaster. It was from such a distance. Forget about being a toy gun. Even with a real gun, it'd be incredibly hard to hit the template of your target. If I'd gone on the mission by myself, everything would be over by now. I'd realized that I couldn't shoot a gun until I rolled in the police academy. Every time I tried to aim, I couldn't calm down and concentrate. No matter how hard I tried, I couldn't improve my shooting performance. The academy even sent me to a specialized psychologist, although we couldn't find anything wrong. Unsurprisingly, I got a 0 on my final shooting test. I became the laughingstock of the class. If it weren't for my outstanding grades in the combat test advancing the academy to make an exception for me, I'd probably still be wasting bullets in training. Guns must simply not agree with me. I've heard some people have issues with it just because of mental trauma and all that. There couldn't be any other explanation. The custodian had gone back to the police station. All we needed to do was wait for the reinforcements from the station and clean up the mess. By the way, even though I wasn't good with them, I could still appreciate guns. I still thought that it would feel great if I could have one with me at all times. I'm Petey the Pistol. If you squeeze me, I make bad people go away. I was playing with the gun when I just picked it up off the ground. It must have belonged to one of these losers. I started doing my Russian voice for some reason. I was playing with the gun that just picked off the ground. It must have belonged to one of these losers. When I was feeling a little drunk with power in my hand, a stranger walked out of the shadows behind the cargo container. It was a huge muscular man in his 40s or 50s. He was wounded. But both the tattoo on his bald head and the scars on the corner of his eyes were telling me that he would not be afraid of a fight. I held the gun steady and pointed at him. Lieutenant Kang casually said, "He's one of us." Lieutenant Kang was sitting on top of some passed-out lackey in a pink striped shirt, was holding half of a cigarette in his hand, and he was just exhaled a puff of murky white smoke. I was shocked. This person didn't look like a police officer at all. Well, I suppose they were birds of a feather, flocked together. Unit 4 must have had plenty of weirdos like them. I lowered the gun, stood straight, and gave him a salute. "Sir, I'm Chang Gyeong-Min. I was just assigned to Unit 4 a week ago. It's a pleasure to meet you." "Pleasure to meet you, too." It wasn't the hulking officer who responded. It was Cho Yo-han, who was standing behind him with the gun pushed up against his head. Now, I thought the guy got knocked out. Did you think this was all fucking over?" He held his gun against the officer's temple, rubbing his own bruised head with the other hand. Crap! I had somehow forgotten that he'd only been shot by a toy gun. Wait, is it a toy gun with blanks, or is it a toy gun with a cap gun? It must have been blanks, or I mean, like a rubber gun or something like that. Never. How could I have made such an idiotic mistake again? Lieutenant Kang slowly stood up too. His cigarette was still burning, but he had no interest in smoking again. Now those are the kinds of looks I like. Kid, raise your gun. I wasn't sure what trick he was trying to play, but I involuntarily held it onto it more firmly. I'm giving you two choices, your lieutenant or this meathead here. Use your gun to make your pick. Put a bullet in his head and then we are done. Don't play any tricks on me. What? I must have heard it wrong. I have never been trained for this scenario back at the academy. Cho Yo-han chuckled. Oh, also, I'm the kind of person who doesn't have too much patience. I'll give you 5 seconds. How about that? Let's begin the countdown. 5. I slowly raised the gun while my arms suddenly felt like they had been filled with lead. On one side was the senior officer who I just met. On the other side was Lieutenant Kang. What kind of sick joke was this? I must calm down and think. There must be some other way. But I only had 5 seconds. 4. Lieutenant Kang was striding to my right. The cigarette in his hand was already burned out. He was just standing there completely motionless, like a statue. Our eyes met in midair, but time kept floating. My hands were shaking. Palms were sweaty. Mom's spaghetti. God, I can't. 3. I point my gun at Chow Yo-han. I tried my best to aim at his forehead. Could I make the shot? Take the shot. 2. The officer looked at me calmly. He seemed to be telling me with his eyes, I trust you. I couldn't trust myself. 1. Huge drops of sweat were rolling down my face. No! I couldn't make it. I gave up. The officer's head exploded right in front of my eyes. Then the gun barrel turned to me with a sliver of smoke still creeping out of it. The child pulled the trigger. The bullet hit me and knocked me over. Getting back, yeah. How does it feel watching your men die in front of you, huh? Felt my eyelids get heavier and heavier. I couldn't see the expression on Lieutenant Kang's face. The voice of Cho, mocking and taunting the lieutenant, was getting further and further away, too. A few weeks later, I woke up in the Busan Metropolitan Hospital. Wait, how do you survive? Well, he did shoot him in the chest. Doesn't mean instant death. He shot him in the head, of course. Tubes were coming out of every part of my body. The EKG machine was beeping steadily next to the bed. Captain Gong told me when he visited me that I was the only survivor from the warehouse. How could this have happened? Someone please tell me this was all just a dream. Please, Buddha, they were all good people. Please, please help them. Chang Gyeong-Min. Well, that's a couple of messed up stories. Alright, well, let's see if we can help these people out. Well, luckily it's only a handful of them, so this shouldn't take... Okay, he's got 6. The kid's only got a couple, so... Looks like most of them are going to be on his side for the most part. Well, let's try to get the hands... Or let's try to get the kids' better innings first out of the way before we do anything else. Okay. Let's see what that gets us. Maybe without turning to the right, he'll actually shoot the doc or whatever. 3. I pointed the gun at Lieutenant Kang. Was there really no other way? 2. Lieutenant Kang saw me pointing the gun at him. He didn't look like he blamed me. He seemed to be telling me with his eyes. I trust you, but I couldn't trust myself. 1. Huge drops of sweat were rolling down my face. No! I couldn't... Okay, he's the officer's head. Chow, bullet hit me, knocked me over. Okay, that's probably the only difference is that you just pointed at him at the other dude instead. Further away. Okay, so he probably just ends up in hospital, all that. An enormous noise louder than anything I'd ever heard exploded from the gun. My entire arm felt numb after the shock, but I was still holding it in my hand. Then I felt something warm and wriggled dripping on my chest. Dr. Lee's face had frozen, and there was a hole in the middle of his forehead. I pushed him away and set him back up. He fell on the floor with his face up. All of a sudden, there seemed to be a lot of people hanging out in the hallway outside. I could hear footsteps, conversations, even screams. And because the doc didn't tell him what actually is going on, people think the kid just went psycho and killed the doc somehow, so he's in even more trouble. Shut up! I came down toward the desk and walked in the mirror with my eyes covered. My body still looked pale in the moonlight, with crimson red gashes on my back and a greater red hue across my chest. It reminded me of the warriors I had seen in the movies. In Russia, warriors see you. Now, did people paint themselves with red stripes too? That's his A rank? Well, that's definitely interesting, but okay. Let's see. Okay, so that should get us all of his stories, I think. That sounds about right. I mean, I could be wrong, but... Well, I mean, obviously something happened. 3. Okay. Best... Okay. I pointed my gun at Cho Yo-Han. I tried my best to aim at his forehead. Could I make the shot? Take the shot. 2. The officer looked at me calmly. He seemed to be telling me... Okay, that's the same. Oh, I couldn't trust myself. Oh no, I think we said that. Huge drops of sweat were rolling down my face when I pulled the trigger. The bullet flew out of the barrel and hit the officer's head. It exploded right in front of my eyes. Aren't you funny, kid? Why don't you consider joining us? Cho Yo-Han mocked me with his jokes and turned the gun to me. I was still paralyzed in shock. He pulled the trigger. Okay, so that's the same, just you accidentally kill the dude instead. Probably ends up the same too. Yep. I killed him. If I killed him, I would become a murderer. Where would I be to run if I became a murderer? I put down the gun. Tears of pain streamed down my face. I decided that I would survive this, and then I swore to myself that I'd find another chance. I swore. I didn't turn my head. I didn't close my eyes. I wanted to burn his evil face into my memory, along with the man who sold me for money. So he sold her for money for what, test subjects or something? Oh, is it the same hospital as that one girl's at, Alicia, maybe? Like, for drug testing and all that? What have you done to me? One day I'll pay you back, plus extra. Well, we're gonna get a vengeance story here. Ooh. Very nice. Okay, so we're done with him for the most part. What have we got on him? So we're missing 3 with him. Okay, let's see what happens if we just don't do anything. Oh, nothing? Okay. Okay, let's see. And then I assume we get a bad ending if we kill Kang. So we'll get that one out of the way. I assume, anyway. Alright. 3. Okay. Cho-Yeon was not easy to fool. Okay. Cho-Yeon was not easy to fool. I had to choose the lieutenant in order to save the officer. As long as it didn't hit any critical spots, the lieutenant would be okay. I could also stall for a little bit longer. Lieutenant Kang saw me point the gun at me. Didn't look like he blamed me. Okay, that's gonna be the same. Oh wait, so he looked at my patience. It's something about stalling. Sorry, I didn't mean to. Back. What? Pull the trigger. The bullet flew out of the barrel towards Lieutenant Kang and hit the man lying behind him. The lackey in the pink striped shirt grunted and everything went quiet again. As expected, my terrible shooting had just made things worse. How dare you try to trick me? Let me show you the consequences. This whole situation is stupid. If he has the gun and everything like that, well, actually, it depends on me. That people that are helpful are around, because there's no way for him to really get out of it. Who would actually even follow through the whole shoot someone else to get out here? Obviously, the guy would kill us anyway, so it's like a dumb situation in the first place. Anyway, Cho-Yeon pulled the trigger with a finger. How else would you pull the trigger? The officer's head exploded right in front of my eyes. Okay, and then it's probably the same. Yeah, okay. The only difference is that we tried to do it right, and then we shot the dead body instead. Hey, kids, want to see a dead body? Okay, further. Yep. Okay. So that's probably all of his. Oh no, we got one more bad ending we can get. See, there's one where we kill the dude. There's gotta be one where we like kill. Well, I guess the good ending is probably. Let's see. Would that give us the best? Well, I guess we can. Okay, that doesn't do anything. Okay, so hands are. It doesn't matter which. And I assume if they're shaking, we're accidentally gonna kill Kang in this one. That's the other bad ending, right? Okay. Isn't it any critical spots? Oh, I noticed his hands slightly move in the background. My hands were shaking like never before. It reminded me the only time that I ever hit the target. It was a very windy day, and I was wearing nothing but a tank top, so I'd been trembling because of the cold. Now that I was shaking so hard, maybe there'd be another miracle. Oh, maybe we're going to get the S1 by accident. I can see that he understood that my plan was to stall. Okay, that's what he said before. But he didn't know that it was an extremely lousy shot. Okay, pull the trigger. And hit Lieutenant and his left. Oh, okay. The bullet flew out of the barrel and hit Lieutenant Kang in his left arm. I made it! I actually made the shot! Take the shot. However, Cho-Yeon was obviously not satisfied with the results. Kid, are you really such a terrible shot? Or are you just trying to fool me? I guess I'll have to teach you a lesson. He moved his gun away from the officer's temple and pointed at his back. Bang! A red hole opened in his stomach. The officer's face turned pale, but he didn't wince even a little, trying not to worry us. What a man he was. What a man. What a guy. Like Ace Runner. Oh, well, I'm also a pretty nice guy. How about I give you another chance? This time, aim at the head. See, right here. He poked his gun at the officer's temple while laughing like a maniac. My anger was boiling inside of me. I couldn't listen to any more bullshit coming from the butter face of that bastard. But what could I do? No matter how fast I could possibly move, I couldn't be faster than a bullet. Yep, I have yet to see a man who outsmarts bullet. A shadow leapt past me from behind while I was still trying to think. A splash of blood spilled into the floor inside of my shadow that was cast by the dim lights. A gun was sticking out of Cho-Yeon's mouth. No, it was barely a mouth anymore. Cho's body was falling to the ground at the same speed as my vomit. Lieutenant Kang took the gun out of Cho's hand. There was no warmth in his eyes. He looked like someone else completely. Oh, his multiple personalities kicking in or something like that. The will to kill was radiating from him. The will to kill every single living thing in sight, even those that had already been incapacitated. A minute later, those who had passed out in the warehouse would never wake up again. The officer was lying next to Cho-Yeon's body, still bleeding. I couldn't tell if he was still breathing. Lieutenant Kang's eyes had turned to the only remaining person alive in the warehouse. He looked into my eyes, and then he raised his gun. That's a rank S? Wow, okay. Huh. Okay, so we're missing the other bad ending. Okay, how do I, let's see. I already did this one, right? Maybe. Let's see. Okay, that's the other one. Cool. So it only take a few seconds to get the other one. So the S one is where you see Kang going all bonkers or whatever. Okay, so I try to aim his forehead. We did this before. Could I make the shot? This remind me the only time I ever hit the target. Okay. It's cold. The miracle. 2. The officer looked at me calmly. Seemed he was okay. I trust you. Couldn't trust myself because I'm a loser. The bullet flew out of the barrel. Just grazed Cho's hair. It might have been the closest shot I ever made. Unfortunately, it's completely useless right now. The officer's head exploded in front of my eyes. Okay, then the rest of it's probably the same. Yeah. As feel, watch men die. Men die when good men do nothing. Cool. Okay. And then we end up in the hospital. Great. Cool. Okay, so we're done with that. Cool. All right. Well, that's a good amount of progress there. Let's see what the letters we have are for that time. Feline King. Okay. Well, looks like the cat and Chang have another mission together. So, in the next episode of Will: A Wonderful World, we'll see what Spotty and Chang have to tie into each other again, and see where we go from here. So, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.